What's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. So just quick what's up to all of you who watched the last video, and it's really cool to see, like, I'll disappear for months and not like post any videos or something, and then post a video and you guys will be like right there right away, dropping comments, talking about the kid prepper days, the videos in Costa Rica, how you've been around since the beginning. So just big shout out to all of you guys, whether you've been here since years ago, or you just found the channel, or whenever you joined the squad. What's up? And today it's a little bit darker, kind of filming this video a little bit later. I've been in the process of getting my motorcycle license. So I already have a dirt bike back in Costa Rica. It's a CRF 250 Honda, for anyone curious. And down there, most of everyone doesn't have a driver's license. I would like to get one down there, but I was in the process of getting permanent residency, so the next step is I'm trying to get my Costa Rican driver's license. But anyways, I've been driving that down at the beach. I use that for like transportation, to go check the waves, go on like enduro rides with a few guys who are also on dirt bikes. But something I've wanted to get is my proper motorcycle license. So the other day, the first thing I had to do was a driving course. So I had to do 5 hours of online course, and then I had to go to this in-person place and do, it was supposed to be a 2-day thing, but the guy was able to squeeze it into 1 day. We just spent the whole day, just different techniques, different safety things, driving, how to control, maneuver the bike, everything. It was pretty easy, especially since I already have quite a few hours driving a motorcycle, so it wasn't anything crazy. But today, I went to the DMV, and with my certificate, and I did all the paperwork so that I'll get a new license in the mail that has the M on it, and that means that I can legally drive a motorcycle on the road. So I'm not planning on getting a motorcycle here in the city. For me, it's just, I love motorcycles and they're extremely fun and a great time, but there's no denying they are more dangerous than a car. As amazing as it is and as much fun as I'm sure it would be, for me it's just like, I already do all types of other crazy stuff that driving a motorcycle on the freeways, on the streets here. Of course you can be very safe, very cautious, but like the main issue with the motorcycle in the city is just how other people don't really see you as much. They're not used to like seeing a smaller vehicle. You're not as visible as like a car. So that's not to say I wouldn't never, maybe at some point get a dirt bike or something, but that is just, in this current moment, I'm gonna be sticking with the car here, and I'll use the bike when I'm back there. But anyways, so that's what I was taking care of today. That was pretty glad to get that taken care of. And I also had to update the address on my ID because we recently moved homes here in Dallas. And yeah, that's what I was doing earlier today. It's pretty crazy with the DMV. Getting an appointment is so difficult. When I was first looking at appointments the other day, the closest appointments, or the soonest, were months out. But sometimes first thing in the morning they give out a few same-day appointments, and my mom was able to, she got on like first thing and saw one available and picked it up for me, so then I was able to go and get that taken care of. So yeah, now that's good, and it's nice to have. Even if I don't have a motorcycle here, it's nice to know that if I want to, I legally can drive one, and I also just have all the knowledge of doing the course, all the safety tips, all the safety things that they tell you and stuff. So I for sure learned some stuff, and it's also just a fun thing to do. It's just want to have as many licenses as I can. But anyways, there was a good comment on the last video that I wanted to talk about today, and that was a question from Night Dweller X8168. And basically the question was regarding what do I basically eat and how does my diet look like living here in America to stay healthy, especially so many foods having seed oils, corn syrup, excess sugar, and how do I go about avoiding those things and kind of living healthy? So first I'm going to start this off with how living in the States, it's more difficult to have a healthy diet than living in Costa Rica. And let me explain why. The same way as with the sunlight conversation yesterday, which before I dive into the diet thing, I want to say a quick thing about the sunlight conversation yesterday. I know I'm kind of jumping around a little bit here, but some of you had a little bit of concerns about getting sun and how it can cause skin cancer and stuff. And yes, I'm aware of that. But then there is also, also not getting any sunlight also isn't the best option. And just going off of how I feel and stuff, I think getting a safe amount is perfectly fine. And one thing that I kind of wanted to correct is that in the last video I kind of said that when it's sunny in between like 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. that's not exactly the best advice, just because that is when the sun is the strongest. So preferably kind of a little earlier in the morning when it's sunny, but it's not like at its strongest point is like kind of the ideal time, kind of a little earlier in the morning-ish, or maybe like after 2 or 3, a little bit later. That way you still get some good sun, but it's not at the peak strength. So yeah, just wanted to clarify that. So back to the conversation regarding diet and that. As I was saying, back in Costa Rica, it's much easier just because you don't have access and you don't have you don't have, in the city is one thing, fast food is starting to infiltrate, there's McDonald's and Taco Bell and stuff, but down in like the beach towns, for the most part, and especially specifically where I live, is you don't have there is no fast food chain restaurants. Every restaurant is kind of its own business that some locals or some people who moved there from somewhere else kind of opened up. So just the fact that it's a one-of-a-kind restaurant and they have to get the ingredients and make the food, it automatically is already healthier than fast food that is made on the lowest quality with the cheapest ingredients and the cheapest way possible. So just that simple thing makes most of the restaurants healthier. Of course, some of the restaurants maybe use quite a bit of oil or a lot of sugar and stuff, but it's still not as bad as some of the fast food restaurants you'll find. And then some of the restaurants, being kind of I find in a beach town like that, some of them kind of make an extra effort to be healthy. They'll be using grass-fed and organic, like grass-fed meat. They'll be using vegetables that are maybe organic, or maybe they're grown locally. It's like certain restaurants, they're making an extra effort for their food to be like the highest quality, the freshest, organic, like I said, grass-fed, right? The meat is maybe from cows that grew up on farmland, just kind of roaming, doing their thing. They're not being injected with stuff and raised in these confined spaces the way they do in some places. They are using, like I said, some of them are using vegetables and fruits and things that are grown locally, that are much more organic. They're not like made on a massive scale where they're just trying to it's not like about the quality of it. They're just trying to make as much food for the lowest price, and that's kind of what they have to do, in a place like a city, to keep the prices reasonable and stuff. So of course some of the restaurants are going to be a little more expensive, but it is healthier for the most part. I'm going to say most of the time. The other thing is the stores. The stores have well, let me clarify. Let me see how I'm going to put this. It's not that you don't have junk food down there. Like all the supermarkets, have sections of all the American chips that you might see in the US. They have ice cream and every chocolate bar and all that stuff. But there's also a big portion of fruits, vegetables, and there's certain fruits that grow down there, so they are especially good, to where I find it's like, why would I go for certain junk food when I can get a mango down there that is like grown, like not that far away. It's in season, it's just really fresh, and they probably just picked it from a tree and are selling it at the store. They probably didn't even put any chemicals on it. I mean, maybe some, but most likely not, because some fruits down there just grow so easily, especially fruits that grow like locally there in Costa Rica. You know, you can just tell when that stuff is just fresh, or the fact that I can go and find a tree on a random property that has mangoes growing and eat them, and it's like they're exactly the same as the ones I'd find in the store. Same goes for a lot of the stores sell coconuts, so you can just buy coconuts and drink them. And what I find here in the States is that you can of course get fruits, vegetables, you can eat healthier, but you have to like really make an effort, because everywhere you go, you're just like bombarded with this fast food. Every store has like just an insane amount of junk food, even more than the supermarkets back in Costa Rica. And let's not just like keep getting carried away here on like this random story. Let's bring it back. So what do I do to be healthier? The main thing is to just always have it on my mind. And the way I think about it is I try to eat foods that are in their, if you just think, I just want foods that are in their naturalist form and they've been the least amount processed. If you just go by that simple thing, you'll realize that most of the food in a supermarket doesn't fall into that category. Most of the food is like so processed, you can't even pronounce the ingredients on the back. And it's not to say that I'm like, oh, I'm only gonna eat fruits and vegetables and nothing that's in a package. Of course I eat things that are packaged, and of course I'll have a chocolate bar and an ice cream and chips and things like that. But it's just not the majority of my diet. Most of the diet is gonna be, like recently what I'll do is I'll just make like a bulk food at home it's kind of like meal prepping in a way, and I'll just have a bunch of it left over that I can just put into smaller Tupperwares and then eat throughout the next few days, instead of having to get some like quick food that you just throw in the microwave and it's, you know, not that nutritional. Like the last meal, like what I just ate now, was actually something that I made like 2 days ago, and it's just a pasta bolognese. So I just got pasta that is, it was like a healthier pasta that has some, a little bit of protein in it, so a fair amount of protein in the pasta, surprisingly. I got some organic beef, some carrots, celery, and then like a tomato sauce that is on the healthier side. And I just make a big batch of pasta bolognese at home, and it's enough for like 6 meals. So I could eat 1 meal then, and then I can just put the rest into small glass Tupperwares, and I can just throughout the week, like after the gym or after training, or if I need to eat at some point, I can just grab one of those, heat it up, and boom, it's ready. And I'm not like, it just makes life so much easier having that stuff prepared kind of a little more beforehand. Oh, speaking of pasta bolognese, someone asked, let me see, who was it? It was Y-Tone Yahoo said, are you still pescatarian? So I am no longer pescatarian. About, I'd say a year and a half ago is when I started I started off with chicken. I just started having chicken a little bit here and there, and then I started having a little bit of steak, and then at this point, I've had turkey, beef, chicken, bacon, stuff. But the way that I kind of think about it is just, the problem is, how do I put this? I think I found that I feel pretty good eating meat and chicken now, but the problem is most restaurants and most of the time the meat and chicken and stuff is not in a healthy form. Like if you get fast food, a hamburger from McDonald's, I mean that that is like probably some of the least healthy beef you could have. So for me, pretty much the only time that I eat meat or chicken, I try to stay away from bacon just because that's also not really that healthy. No, I've had it a few times in like a BLT, but I'm not eating that on a regular basis. I try to stick to steaks, kind of like a grass-fed steak, whether it's like a New York strip or like a tomahawk, or sometimes I'll get like some tenderloin and cook that up, either just on the stove, or I'll cook it on a barbecue. I got a small barbecue for my balcony where I just light it up and I can just cook some steak. So I pretty much only eat meat if it's ideally grass-fed, organic, so I know it's kind of on the healthier side. And then same for chicken. Ideally, if I'm gonna have chicken, I like for it to be like same, organic, or just on the healthier side, not the cheapest stuff. See, the thing is when you want to eat a little bit healthier, things tend to just be more expensive, because you'll have the option of, oh, get this beef, and you don't know what they put into that cow, how it was raised, and everything, and it's cheaper. Or you can pay a little bit more and get this higher quality piece of meat. So for me, when I'm gonna eat meat, I try to go for the higher quality stuff, just because like I want to be eating the healthier stuff, ideally, watching what I put into my body. And then same with the chicken. Like if you eat fried chicken every day, that's not the best, that's not the best option either. That doesn't mean I'll occasionally have some chicken wings or have like a fried chicken sandwich at some place or something, but all in moderation. That's the thing. Like you can be healthy and still have some junk food, or still have some cheap meals and still have some stuff that isn't ideal. But as long as you're not overdoing it on a daily basis, then at least I find I'm fine. I find that if I'm eating just garbage for like a week or two straight, like I do notice the difference. I'm not feeling as good. I'm still pretty lean just because I'm so active, but maybe I will notice like a small amount of fat, a little bit more fat appear than when I'm like kind of watching my diet a little more, especially as I get older. Obviously I'm not old, like whoever is old, as long as you're just like young, as long as you just stay young at heart, then you can be chilling. But in moderation. And then the big thing is, as I was saying, to just be very conscious. So when I go into a grocery store, it's so easy, because you walk into a grocery store, what's the first thing you see and is everywhere? It's all the processed food, all this colorful packaging. They have these colorful packaging so that it looks attractive and it looks like a fresh, colorful fruit. All these things filled with sugar, nothing that's very good for you. When you're checking out at the store, what do they have? Just down the whole shelf next to you is just all the chocolate bars, all the junk food, just in your face, and it's so easy. And I catch myself as well. I'm like, oh, I'll just grab one of these on the way out, or grab one of these. I'm like, well, if I do that every time, then it's like I'm eating this garbage all the time. So a big thing is trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna go to the fresh produce section of the store and get some snacks here. I'm gonna go just get some apples, some oranges, some bananas, some stuff like that, and I'm just gonna get that, and just ignore the junk food that's being shoved in my face. Or when you go to a restaurant, look through the menu. You can look through the menu and be like what's gonna be the little bit healthier choice here? Is it this option, this option, this option? And most of the time, it depends on what restaurant you're at, but you can usually tell what's gonna be a little bit on the healthier side just from what food it is or what ingredients are in it. I can't give like exact examples right now, that's kind of difficult, but I could in the future maybe like show some examples of a menu or something. Also, just kind of having restaurants that when you are gonna eat out, it's a healthier restaurant. So for me, like a go-to being here in the city is, if I am gonna pick up food to go or something, and I kind of want something a little quicker, I'm not like going out and sitting down and everything, but I'll just go for some Chipotle. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better than some of the other things you could go for. And then you can make certain choices there. You can be like, okay, I'm gonna get, do I get the burrito with the tortilla and also the side of chips and the side of cheese and all this stuff, or do I just go for just the bowl and I just get like beans, rice, a protein, maybe some salsa, and just call it a day like that? So that's what I'll do, is I'll just be like, all right, I'm just gonna get the bowl, because I find if I go to Chipotle and if I get a burrito with the tortilla and I get the side of chips, which they always try to offer to you, and it's, you know, it is enticing to get those chips. Just be like, no, thank you. I just want my bowl with my rice, beans, protein, and some salsa, and I'm chilling, and I feel way better. If I eat that bag of chips and stuff, I always feel like sick, and I'm like, man, I feel sick after this. So it has been something that it's a daily, you just have to make it a daily habit that it's always just like something you're conscious and thinking about is, you know, which food do I want to go for? Which thing? And it can just be really easy to go for the most convenient thing. But if you make the effort, it's totally doable to be healthy living in the States, you know, at first. And it is, I find that when I wasn't eating, when I was pescatarian and I wasn't eating meat or chicken or anything, it was almost easier, because most of the fast food, a lot of it is either meat or chicken or of some sort, you know, whether it's some type of fried chicken, some type of burger, a hot dog, different stuff. When I was pescatarian, all those foods are just instantly not an option, because I don't even eat that, so it's not even an option. I don't even consider it. So the restaurants that have all that stuff, it's like it's not even an option. But now that I am eating it, and it's like that is a choice. Like if I wanted to, I could eat that. I have to really have that self-control to be like, no, I'm not gonna go for that. If I eat it, I know I'm gonna feel like crap. I know it's not gonna help me get in better shape. It's not gonna help me put on muscle. You gotta be really, really conscious about it. I will say that. Another thing, that this is pretty easy, but then it's also more difficult here, is just what you're drinking throughout the day. Pretty much, I try to just stick to water pretty much the whole day. I'll stick to water, is like pretty much the only thing I drink. I will drink some coconut water. I'll just get these, like this box of cartons of coconut water, and at least I have that, and that's, you know, it has been sitting in a bottle and stuff, but at least you can just tell I drink a bottle of that and I don't feel sick, I don't feel like crap. But every store and every restaurant, you know, there's a machine with soda. They got Coke and Sprite and lemonade and all these sodas, and you know, I would fall into the trap sometimes, and sometimes I might get a lemonade or have a Coke once in a while, but just not every time. Because if you are in the habit of, oh, when I go, I get some food and then I get a drink always. If you're just like, I'm just gonna have some self-control and I'm just gonna get water. I know that soda is delicious and stuff, but I'm just gonna have some self-control here. Just want water, nothing else. And you know, they'll be like, oh, you know, do the combo, get the drink and the bag of chips and stuff, and it's so easy to just be like, okay, yeah, the combo, yeah, why would I not get the combo? And it's like, well, because then you're the only person you're doing dirty is yourself. So, and something interesting that this maybe, you know, doesn't apply to most people, but in my case, when I was growing up down at the beach, I didn't have fast foods near me. So then when I would go and visit maybe the States, or I would go to the city and I would get a Subway and a cookie and a soda type stuff, it was like a treat once in a while. So I knew like, oh, I'm only here for a weekend or for a week, you know, I can only get this now. But then when I'm living here and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be here for the next few months, I can't let that be a habit of that every time I go and buy food somewhere, I'm gonna get the cookie and the soda and the bag of chips and all this stuff. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And you know, it takes some serious effort, self-control, being conscious about it, and constantly like catching yourself. I'll be like, oh, I'll just get this. I'm like, no, go to the fruit section, just get some fruit and just call it a day and be chilling with that. Your body will thank you later. And yeah. that's what I have to say about that. I will say, let's say, what do I drink in a normal day? Most of the time, it's water. So I'll fill up my water bottle at home. If I go to the store, I'm trying to just develop the habit of when I go in the store, I don't even look at all those drinks, and I just go get myself a water, because if I'm thirsty and I'm going somewhere something, just get a water, just ignore all the sodas and stuff. What I will have is kind of like a treat, a vice for me, is if I'm on my way to the gym and I kind of want like a little bit of a pick up, I'll allow myself to get some type of energy drink, and for me it's usually, lately it's been a Celsius drink. Maybe Celsius wants to sponsor me, that'd be sick. But I like their stuff. It's not, I don't feel too crappy after it. I don't feel tweaked out of my mind, because some of those energy drinks have like 300-400 milligrams of caffeine. Celsius, it's not the best, you know, they have like 200, which is still quite a bit, you know, compared to, you know, maybe a cup of coffee, it might even be under 100. But for me, if I have one of those once in a while, and that's like, you know, I'm not having any soda, any Coke, any other stuff, and that's like the one like kind of like soda-ish type of drink that I'll get to have, then that's kind of what works for me, and that's what I'll do. Like I said, water is your friend, because you don't even realize, I mean, if you're drinking soda all day, like how much sugar, how much just like empty calories is what they call it. Yeah, so that's what I have to say about that. Let's see, was there any other questions in here that I had? Yeah, that was pretty much what I wanted to talk about today, and yeah. So thank you guys for watching, making it to the end of the video. It's great. Love hearing your guys' comments, and love the conversations that happen down in the comments. Someone gives their opinion, and then someone else can give their thoughts and different stuff. And yeah, that's what we're doing. We're just out here, like, what I'm just trying to do is trying to live the healthiest lifestyle, no matter where I'm living. You know, I remember people would be like, oh, you know, when you live in Costa Rica, of course it's easy to be healthy. Of course it's easy to do this, to be like this, and have this healthy lifestyle and stuff. And it's like, okay, fair point, but I can live in the city and have a healthy, fit, good lifestyle as well. So that means there's no real excuse for it. If I can live in Dallas, no ocean nearby, no jungle, no nothing, literally a concrete jungle here, and I can still be active, healthy and stuff, then there is really no excuses. So yeah, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. And oh yeah, the comment that I was answering from Night Dweller X8168 said maybe a day in the life video would be cool. So I actually have a vlog of something coming up. It's not exactly a day in the life about like my diet and what I'm eating. There is some food stuff in there, but that video is being edited and that'll be up soon. But I'm not gonna hint of what it is or anything. You'll just have to see when it comes out. When it comes out, it comes out. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember to keep always doing more awesome stuff. Booyah!